Very good afternoon, all sir. And this is Srinivas Reddy. I am cordially inviting all of you, sir. Our chief guest also is going to join within 1 or 2 minutes, sir. He is in journey. He's in topic, I think. Just now, sir, called me. Very good afternoon to all. I cordially invite all of you to the webinar taking place today. Everyone knows how the COVID virus is rampant. In this situation, we need to follow the prevention behavior practices which are critical to winning the fight against the deadly virus. It is very sad to even our Divyangjan are also getting infected with COVID virus. Even today in our India, the process of vaccination to children has not yet begun. In this situation, we need to be careful and conduct appropriate awareness programs to keep safe ourselves, our families, and our students from getting infected by the COVID virus. This webinar is organizing with the intention of understand a post-COVID care and management, especially for the PWDs. I would like to extend my heartfelt greetings to both the doctors and also my director, sir, for devoting their precious time during COVID pandemic period and providing needful information about post-COVID care and management. Once again, my heartful thanks all the participants from all over the country were gathered in this webinar. Now, I would like to invite our patron, Dr. Imang Siddharth sir, Director NIEPBD Dehradun, to start with inaugural speech. He is the only person with experience working as a director in several national institutes. Sir was instrumental in establishing state-level CRCs for PWDs at Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Sikkim, and Andaman Nicobar. Director sir served as a visiting faculty member for foreign universities also. Director sir having more than 24 years of experience in the field of disability rehabilitation from clinical administrative policy level and academic perspectives. Director sir plays a significant role for various committees of RCI, Rehabilitation Council of India, MSJE, Government of India, in the areas of curriculum development and project development. Heartful welcome to you, sir, to start the webinar with your welcome speech.
Namaskar. Namaskar everyone. All your efforts must be highly acknowledged, and we are in fact extremely grateful to the whole of the rehab community, the government of Telangana, TCTVI, Saksham Telangana, and all the participants here. Despite such pressing moments of COVID that all of us are suffering in terms of our office, our colleagues, our friends, near and dear ones, despite everything, all of us are trying to put forward our best effort in terms of doing whatever best we can do under such pressing circumstances. So all of us deserves a lot of appreciation for taking such steps forward. So I once again thank TCTVI and Saksham Telangana for taking this step forward for such a wonderful program, trying to educate persons with disabilities and their stakeholders on post-COVID care and management. The topic is of immense importance to everyone, all the stakeholders, professionals, participants from across the country. My salutation, Pranam sir, to Dr. L. Sudarshan Reddy sir for gracing us with his presence. I know how busy he must be during this pressing time. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this time. Dr. Koteshwara Rao ji, Dr. Jasmeer Singh ji, Sri Nandanam Purnakar ji, Srimati A. Aruna ji, Dr. P.N. Mishra ji, who has joined us from Bhubaneswar, Sri Srinivas Reddy ji, and Y. Ramakrishna ji. Thank you everyone for being part of this program, and all the participants. I hope this will be an immense beneficial program for all of you. For me, it has been a very learning and a huge experience to be dealing with during and post-COVID, because at NIVH, in the whole of the year, we must have seen no less than 250 persons with COVID positive, and in the last 1 month alone, we have been dealing with over 170 persons who have been diagnosed with COVID. By God's grace and everyone's support, we have been able to manage everyone. But what I now have is the topic left that you have chosen for today. Most of them had recovered. Now what's next? What is post-COVID care and management? We are now trying to learn a lot on psychological care. To me, that has become the primary input. We are giving so many advices from doctors, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, and physicians, and so on and so forth. But most of the time, I am finding the mental health care, the psychological care is at the topmost, at the peakmost. But if that part is not taken care of, the medical care, the health care, the physical care, the advice of doctors, physiotherapists, occupational therapists are not giving any fruit. So psychological care is the first part that we are trying to do. Then the generic health care, we are trying to approach experts as much as possible to take care of generic health care with specific consideration, with specific disability. As we know, visual disabilities will have specific issues, intellectual disabilities will have specific issues, cerebral palsy will have specific health issues. So in reference to every disability, we are trying to get to know what all things under the generic healthcare can improve their generic health, and also specific healthcare. For example, persons with visual disability will not be moving around much, will not be playing much, will not be exercising much in their day-to-day life, especially as they grow in their age. So when you don't move around much, don't do exercises much, under such circumstances, the lymphatic system doesn't work, which is the basis for immunity development. So we are trying to work out on activities for different groups of disability to sort of enhance their lymphatic system functioning in order to get a better immune system for them. Similarly, when you do at a higher level, we are also now pressed with targets of loss of education, loss of income, loss of skill, lot of losses in different developmental domains which all of us were trying to achieve with different categories of disability, loss of employment, a loss of entrepreneurship, and above all, even the zeal for income generation, even the interest for moving ahead and trying to do something to get into some kind of income or do some entrepreneurial activities. So these are big losses that we have suffered during this COVID, and also now also post-COVID also those who have recovered. So we have put a huge list of loss and challenges, and with webinars like this, I am very sure with the new definition on adaptive behavior for this new normal. This new normal that we have come up needs a new definition of adaptive behavior. The old definition of adaptive behavior is no longer successful now. Our person cannot be empowered if we stick around with the old definition of adaptive behavior. With the new normal, we have to learn new adaptive behavior. Similarly, with the new normal, we have to look forward for new opportunities in terms of skilling, employment, and income generation. So we all need to gear up. So everything we need to take cognizance of the new normal and the new world. So when you talk of post-COVID care and management, everything comes under the one gamut. I hope such series of programs will be conducted towards all our parents, beneficiaries, stakeholders, professionals, and persons with disabilities at large. With such immense amount of potential and huge resource that we have in our country, like Sudarshan Reddy ji, Koteshwara Rao ji, and everyone, I'm very sure we'll be able to be successfully coming up over all these losses that we are talking about today. Once again, thanking everyone for giving me this opportunity. I'd love to be part of all such programs whenever I have time. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for giving your valuable time in your busy schedule, sir, Once again, I thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Jasmeet Singh, sir, Assistant Professor, Deputy Control of Examination, NIEPVD, Dehradun. He always at the forefront, providing the services of disability children. Many changes have been made in the special education since taken in charge as a national coordinator. He has participated and presented papers and national conferences and also journals. He is the author of a different chapters in the many prestigious books and delivered talk in conferences also. I welcome you, sir. Dr. Jasmeet Singh, sir.
Thank you, Srinivasan Reddy ji. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the DCTVH and Saksham team to organize such a wonderful program on post-COVID care and management. Respected Chief Guest of the day, Dr. N. Sudarshan Reddy ji, Professor of the ENT and HOD OMC, Resource Person, Dr. A.N.V. Koteshwar Rao ji, respected Director NIPVD Dr. Himanshu Das ji, respected special guest of the program Sri Nandkeshwar Konarkar ji, State Secretary Saksham Telangana, Coordinator Madam Srimata E. Aruna ji, TCTVI Sikandrabad, Organizer of the program TCTVI Faculty Sri Srinivasan Reddy ji and Y. Ramakrishna ji. This is a wonderful program that we are discussing about all of the things for the person with disability, that how they will be work in this pandemic and how will they care themselves by staying home in this pandemic, because in our countries we are seeing that there are a lot of issues to the care of the peoples, those who are normal. But if the person with disability is suffering from any types of the mental depression, maybe any type of the anxiety, then surely this type of the program will help him. Not help him them, but also it is a very good opportunity for the professional, those who are working with the person with disability, for their education, for their training, for their rehabilitation and for their counseling. So we will today find out a solution by listening to our honorable resource persons and the chief guest message that how we will care for them. So this is a series. We have a significant role from the side of the Ministry of Social Justice and Department of Empowerment of Person with Disability in the directions and in the guidance of the Honorable Director NIPVD Dr. Himanshu Das ji, that we are going to organize the webinars series with the stakeholders, with the help of the training centers and with the help of the non-government organizations who are delivering their services for the person with disability. I am feeling very glad and happy to the part of this program. Thank you to all the delegates and all our faculties who are today the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to invite Sri Nandanam Karunakar ji, State Secretary Saksham Telangana, and also member NILD, National Institute of Locomotor Disability. He has been involved service with the Divyangjan from last 13 years. He is monitoring all the activities related to 21 type of disabilities in the state of Telangana. My hearty congratulations to you, sir, for your dedicated service to Divyangjan and also poor people. I welcome you, sir. And before Karunakar sir speaks, one motivational video, just 4 minutes video is there. That we are going to play that video. Maybe that is in Telugu, but other people also, other language, anybody can understand easily. I request Sukhina, please play the video.
भारतं अक्षयं त्रिविक्रमं भारतं पराक्रमं भारतं स्वाभिमान स्वावलंब दिव्यांगुలు శిరమునెత్తి గర్జించి నినదించి శంఖమూరితే సమగ్ర భారతం సాకారమవ్వదా సశక్త భారతం సాధ్యమవ్వదా సశక్త భారతం సాధ్యమవ్వదా సక్షుణీ భారతం అక్షయం భారతం त्रिविक्रमं भारतं पराक्रमं भारतम् విశ్వమంత వెలుగు నింపు ఆత్మచంద్రభానుని రథసారథి అనూరుడు మన ఆదర్శం జ్ఞానమోక్ష సాధకుడు జనక మహారాజు గురువు అష్టావక్రుని జీవనమనుసరణీయం గులాబు సూరదాసు పంచాక్షర పుట్టరాజు అంధత్వం అధిగమించి అమరులవ్వలేదా సంకల్పం సాధన సమానత్వ భావన సంఘటన యోజన సాధించును చేతన నేత్రములే కుంటెనేమి మనోనేత్రమున్నది అనుభూతులు అవసరాల గుర్తించుతున్నది వైకల్యం వల్ల అడుగు తడబడితే ఉన్నది లక్ష్యం వైపుకి పయనం సాగుతూనే ఉన్నది సహాయం పొందు చేయి సేవ చేయ కదిలింది ఆధారం కయ్యారాటం తొలగిపోయింది తనకు తాను సాక్షిగా అందరికీ రక్షగా పరోపకార దీక్షను ప్రపంచాన చాటింది భారతం అక్షయం భారతం త్రివిక్రమం భారతం పరాక్రమం భారతం స్వాభిమాన స్వావలంబ దివ్యాంగులు శిరమునెత్తి గర్జించి నినదించి శంఖమూరితే సమగ్ర భారతం సాకారమవ్వదా సశక్త భారతం సాధ్యమవ్వదా బతుకులంటూ దుఃఖించుతమాని సాంబో పోరాట పటిమనంత పంచుదాం చాలి చూపు సానుభూతి అవసరమే ఉన్నదంటూ అర్పణకు తర్పణకు సైనికులవుతాం దేశ ప్రగతి ఉద్యమాన అగ్రభాగాన నడిచి అన్నటికీ తిరిగిపోని చరిత నిలుపుదాం కదం కదం కలుపుదాం పదం పదం పాడుదాం జయ భారత గీతిని జగమంతా భారతం అక్షయం భారతం త్రివిక్రమం భారతం పరాక్రమం భారతం సక్షుణీ భారతం అక్షయం భారతం త్రివిక్రమం భారతం పరాక్రమం భారతం స్వాభిమాన స్వావలంబ దివ్యాంగులు శిరమునెత్తి గర్జించి నినదించి శంఖమూరితే సమగ్ర భారతం సాకారమవ్వదా సశక్త భారతం సాధ్యమవ్వదా సశక్త భారతం సాధ్యమవ్వదా సక్షుణీ భారతం అక్షయం భారతం త్రివిక్రమం భారతం పరాక్రమం భారతం
సార్ చాలా బాగుంది సార్ పాట చాలా చాలా బాగుంది సార్. మాకు ఒక వీడియో మాత్రం పంపండి, ఆడియో మాత్రం పంపండి సార్. మాకు బాగా అనిపించింది. శివసార్ సార్
చెప్పండి
సార్, మాకు ఒక వీడియో అయితే పంపండి సార్, ఆడియో అయితే పంపండి సార్. మాకు ఒక పాట బాగా అనిపించింది. రైటర్ హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ సార్. రైటర్ హ్యాట్స్ ఆఫ్ సార్. నేను
ధన్యవాद
సార్.
हिमांशु दास जी, जसमीत जी और डॉक्टर सुदर्शन रेड्डी जी, कोटेश्वर राव जी एंड श्रीनिवास जी, रामकृष्णा जी, आप सब लोगों के मिलके सक्षम तेलंगाना दिव्यांगों का काम में 24/7 every day, every hour, every minute काम करते रहते थे और सारे दिव्यांगों का समस्या में दिव्यांगों के साथ हम है, आप है, हम आप दोनों मिलके ये समस्याओं को काम करने के लिए तैयार है और ये कोरोना का समय में सारे दिव्यांग लोगों का समस्या बढ़ते रहा है और तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट ये 20 दिन का हेल्पलाइन सेंटर से कंप्लेंट्स आया 570 कंप्लेंट्स इसमें एवरी डे 10 to 15 30 एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट कंप्लेंट्स 10 से 15 कंप्लेंट्स आ रहा है और सारे कंप्लेंट्स को सॉल्व करने के लिए तेलंगाना डिसेबिलिटी डिपार्टमेंट के साथ काम करने के लिए सक्षम तैयार है जो आपका तकलीफ है अपना हेल्पलाइन सेंटर का भी सर्विसेज तीन सेंटर बॉम्बे दिल्ली मुंबई और हैदराबाद से सर्विसेज स्टार्ट हुआ और तेलंगाना में ये हेल्पलाइन सेंटर्स नेक्स्ट वीक आरंभ करने के लिए बहुत कोशिश कर रहा हूँ एक हफ्ता में और सारे सर्विसेज आपके सामने आएंगे और सबके साथ मिलके हम काम करने के लिए तैयार हैं बहुत मुबारक है बहुत धन्यवाद
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And just now our chief guest also called. He is in critical care unit and is going to join. And before that, now I would like to invite our resource speaker, Dr. A.N.V. Koteshwar Rao, sir, the famous pulmonologist, specialist, health at the hospital, ECL, Hyderabad. Dr. Rao sir was instrumental in bringing awareness in the general public about the importance of the early diagnosis of tuberculosis and to make the people aware of the DOTS program brought by the Government of India. Dr. Rao sir is a renowned doctor with the more than 20 years of experience with recent contributions to the field of research related to pulmonology and sleep related problems. Dr. Rao sir was established a distinct 9 years authorship in the providing progressive and advanced treatment to the patients with respiratory disorders, critical illness, and also Dr. Rao sir started a A.S. Rao Nagar chest clinic in the year of 2007. It developed as New Lifeline Multi-Speciality Hospital Private Limited with 50-bedded hospital inbuilt pharmaceutical facilities. Dr. Rao sir has conducted several programs especially for the doctors working in the primary health centers, thus contributing for the improving the quality of medical care in the rural level. Dr. Rao sir was conducted several awareness programs like early diagnosis tuberculosis, early diagnosis of lung cancer, and conducted several free camps in rural area also. Sir is constantly striving to the bringing awareness about the sleep related disorders in the general public. Sir has a great concern on PWDs also as well as poor people. Dr. Rao sir has known as the doctors of the poor people. Sir, as the doctors of the poor people, my hearty welcome you, sir. Dr. Koteshwar Rao, sir. Hello. Please unmute your mic, sir.
Yes, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, please, sir. Welcome,
Able
sir.
to hear me? Okay. Good afternoon to everybody. Distinguished director, respected persons, and all the persons came to this webinar. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am Dr. Kodeshwara, pulmonologist. The topic already, this is the post-COVID management. So now, the still we are, maybe in my assumption, we are not yet gone into the post-COVID stage. We are still in the COVID stage only. Because previously we have the problem of not able to have the effective medication and vaccination. Now we have the vaccine, but lack of availability. As of now, only 5% of the population is only less than 5% of the population is only vaccinated. Maybe 20 crores people are vaccinated. That too only in the 20 crore people only 11 crores, 12 crores are vaccinated, received the only single dose. Now this is the time to get the vaccination because of the so many reasons, lack of proper planning, lack of infrastructure. We are in a stage that we are not able to get the adequate vaccination doses as of now. Now, in the Hyderabad, we are seeing, now we are in the second wave and the lockdown is going on. Lockdown, yes, definitely is going to work for the decrease of the cases, decrease the incidence of the cases. But people has to get the herd immunity. Herd immunity means if you have the 100%, at least 70% to be protected from that disease. Protection will get a person by two ways. One is to get the infection, two, receive the vaccination. So we are also, because of the all over the world, up to 18 years of, above 18 years of age, they are giving the vaccine. Now initially in India, above 65 years and also only the Corona warriors like doctors, police and all those things. Now they are extended up to the 45 years. Now from above 18 also they are giving, but there are no vaccines. Post-COVID, in general public is different and the Divyajans is different. In my assessment, what I mean to say, all persons are disabled now.
All persons are
Disabled with the COVID now. Now, India is disabled with the COVID. There is a financial problem, psychological problem, jobs are going, there is a pressure on the females, there is a pressure on the males, there is a pressure on the management, there is a pressure on the owner, there is a pressure on the kids. So no one is not doing their work properly, either from the highest level to the lowest level of the kids also. No one is doing their normal natural work as doing previous last 2-3 years back. So everyone is facing the COVID, post-COVID crisis that is going to be there for, in my assumption, for another 2 years. Hopefully, did not get the third wave in India.
there are very chances to get the third wave in India because of we are not properly vaccinated. I am not giving any wrong message to you, the persons in the forum. I am the fact I am telling. So previously we used to know the social distancing, wear mask, sanitation. Now we have to add the mask, you have to add the get the vaccination as early as possible, because vaccine is not going to give the full protection, but single vaccination most probably will give say 30% protection 2 vaccinations immediately after 2 weeks, after 2 to 3 weeks of the 2 doses of the vaccination, you will go up to the, based on the company of the vaccination, you will get the 60 to 80% of the production. If you get the disease, like how we are getting all the people, the persons diseased with the, infected with the COVID infection, they will get the 80% of the infection. That antibodies will be left for the 5 to 6 months in the body. But again I am stressing with that for the general public in the so many TV programs and TV relays I explained. Now I was telling 90 to 95% of the people will be recovered normally without any symptoms, maximum in a 1 day or 2 days. Some patients will develop up to the similar simple illness for the weakness, body pain, severe body pains for the another 5 to 10 days, and again 95% to 95 to 97% will recover with a simple treatment. So no one is not require, most of the persons will not require hospitalization, maybe because of the media, maybe because of the papers, maybe because of the over anxiousness and not properly working pulse oximeters, not useless for pulse oximeters. People are becoming more threatened. If the battery is not working also, they are frightened, they are rushing to the hospitals, they are joining in the hospitals. But either the Seva Bharati or so many organizations, Saksham, some related organizations also conducted, or they are organizing the sophisticated centers in Hyderabad also, in all over India also, so many areas they are conducted. My message to the group is the present group is the maintain social distancing, hand washing, no need of any sanitizers. Simple hand washing with water, simple hand washing with the soap is sufficient. Wear mask for another minimum of 2 to 3 months. Keep the social distancing, avoid gatherings, and as early as possible, if you are not vaccinated, go for the vaccination, because it is going to prevent the serious complications of the disease. Maybe in the future, already we are facing some changes is happening in the viruses. Like if I go to the Bombay from Hyderabad, I have to change myself. If I go to the America, I have to change myself. Like virus is also changing themselves. So if it becomes the more tough, we have to be careful. And post-COVID, the stress is immense. People are suffering a lot. I am seeing the patients, especially the person who is giving the bread and butter to the family, is suffering a lot, and maybe his wife also. So there is a financial problem. There is a job crisis. Management is also not able to provide the jobs to the needy people. Government is not at all supporting. It cannot support also for all these 134 crores of people. So only 1% of these seriously affected patients are having the lungs problems. Rest of the people will be 100% will recover by the 1 month or 2 months. So initially, simply you can go for the simple cold medication, B complex, vitamins, vitamin D. This is sufficient for the 95% of the patients. And there is no need to panic about the RT-PCR test. If at the second wave, I am informing you that if one person is affected in the community or nearby, so nearly 30% is going to be affected because of the infectivity is high. It doesn't mean 30% are become serious. 30% are so. In easy words, what I am to say is, if you have seen a community of 100 persons, if you do a person for the, if you do the RT-PCR or rapid test for the one person is positive in the 100, you assume 30% of the people are infected, because the studies are saying that infection is not a disease. I am again telling you that infection is a simple infection. So many patients will not get any problem, any symptoms, even the loss of smell, cold also. All it will go and go. Why I am telling is, in the recently in India, in so many centers, Gujarat, Pune, Hyderabad, they conducted serious surveillance. Serious surveillance means they are taking the samples from the communities, from the apartments, from the hotels, from the street vendors. They take a samples. So of the 10,000 samples, 3,500 people are having the antibodies. So of the 3,500 people, only the vaccinated people are the 300 people. So either good or bad, we are slowly we are infecting themselves, and also because of the airborne virus spread. So that is meant 30% of the people in the studies, wherever it is in the Hyderabad, wherever the study has been conducted, 30% of people will infected. But you get the herd immunity, you need to get the minimum 60 to 70% of the people get infected, or to get the vaccinated. Like we are not getting any polio disease. Why? Because the government of India has supported polio vaccination so rampantly since last 10 years. Now we don't have any polio, because 90% of the people are immunized with the polio vaccine. Like children, we are not getting the diphtheria now, we are not getting the tetanus now, we are not getting the pertussis now, we are not getting the any by smallpox. In the childhood, we used to get all the dots in their faces like smallpox. Now we are not getting. Why? Because in our childhood, 30 years back, the government of India has given the smallpox vaccine to everybody. So, like, vaccine has to be given to get the herd immunity, or to get all the disease, all the persons are infected, it takes time. Maybe another 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Even to get the 130 people, around of the 130, we have to give the 100 people has to be vaccinated. 100 crores people. 100 crores people means we need in India, we need 200 crores of the vaccines is required for another 2 years. 200 crores of vaccines. Our whole pharmaceutical companies, vaccine trials are able to produce only 20 to 30 crores of the vaccines in this or next year in their recent report. But they may increase. They will give it to the other countries also for the rapid production of the vaccines. So we are not at the stage of the post-COVID. We are in the COVID stage. We will be in the COVID stage for another 1 year. So basic things has to be continued forever. Because from the lung point of view, I am informing you that don't depend on the pulse oximeters. Depend on your knowledge. Depend on your heart. Depend on your body. Mostly digital thermometers will not give the wrong result. 70% of the pulse oximeters will give the wrong result because of the poor quality, lack of proper quality controls of the making those companies. So any person during COVID, post-COVID is able to walk morning 10 minutes, afternoon 10 minutes, night 10 minutes comfortably, he will not have any lung problem. So walking is essential. That is called in pulmonology or cardiac point of view 6-minute walk test. If a person will do around 400 to 500 meters in a 6-minute, if his cardiorespiratory rising is absolutely fine, he can cope up the future. Another thing is, go for simple medication. Don't rush to the hospitals. Because in the recent study is saying everything is totally replaced. Everything is unnecessarily used. One is oxygen, two is steroids, three is CT scans. CT scan is also not required. They are using rampantly. Oxygen is also not required for everybody. If any person's saturation is less than 92, if he doesn't have any previous lung problem, then if you have the previous lung problem like a smoker, COPD, any problem, like they don't need up to 85 also. I have seen so many kyphoscoliosis patients and restrictive lung disease, that is called the COPD patients. They are happily linked with 85 to 90% of the saturation. Since years, since 20 years, I am able to see 85%. So need not to worry about that. We need to go for the either a good senior doctor. For the before going to the hospitals. Try, don't go to the what I mean to say. They doesn't have any knowledge about the medicine like these things and RMPs. So usually they will make you panic. Another thing I'm stressing is that most of the lung problems will go with the walking. And this is walking also. Either if you are a person staying in the single room, you can go for the 8-minute walks. There are so many things are available in the videos, YouTubes and all those things. And you can do the pranayama. That is also good for the thing. And nowadays, according to other than the pulmonology and the pulmonary support and all those things, we need psychological support and help the needy. Help the needy. Once you are out of the crisis, help the needy. There are so many people are suffering. At least so many animals are suffering. They are not getting the proper feed also. So COVID has stressed all the communities, all the ages, all the religions and all the departments also, in all ages also. So another 1 year should be stop. I mean, I can say be spiritual also. If you are spiritual, you will be more strengthened. And these are the things I can able to say to all the people. So don't be panic. Don't rely on the pulse oximeters. 95% of the people will not get any problems. Try to contact a senior people by consultation or teleconsultation. Don't rush into any hospitals unnecessarily. Utilize the government services because the private sector is going to be very, very costly and there is no use at all. Also, if possible, go for a consultations, teleconsultations who are the seniors. Search on the net. Go for a senior consultation. Senior physicians who are having MD General Medicine, MBBS, or any good homeopathy doctors, good Ayurveda doctors, any specialty. Try to go for the seniors. That is also one possibility. And anyone who is having the queries or anything, you can contact me. My number will give it to the things also. I am also available, but I am quite busy nowadays. But I am available to you for anyone is having the problem also. My number will be provided by Srinivas Rao to Srinivas Reddy to everybody. And before conclusion, my message is to go for as early as for the vaccination if possible. Now, this is the time for go for vaccination. 1, 2, masks, sanitization by proper hand washing, keep social distancing, and maybe another 1 or 2 months also, there are going to be some marriages and other things. Avoid everything. Don't go to previous first wave marriages are okay. Maybe if one person is going to infect 2 to 3 persons or 5 persons. Now one person is going to infect total 200 persons in at a time, because the virus has been changed. So don't go to any gatherings. And another thing I am stressing you, if in your family one person is positive, don't send your children to other houses. Once positive means already you are positive 5 days back. So stay there, stay cool, wait. All will subside in 10 days. And another thing, every person is doing RT-PCR initially, and once it is positive, after 15 days also they are doing the RT-PCR again. No need of any RT-PCR, because dead viruses will stay there in our nose and under our oropharynx for another 1 month. Unless your organization or your or your government companies ask you for a repeat RT-PCR, no need of doing RT-PCR again after 15 days of isolation. Don't panic. Be brace ourselves. Strength, it comes with the all together. So this is the tough time for everybody, not only you and not only me. For everybody is a tough time. Stay together. We all will come out of this crisis very early. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, and for spending your valuable time with us, sir. Thank you very much. And some questions are there, I think, sir. They are chatting in the box, and kindly please allow, sir. I think Janaki Ram Garu.
Yeah. Sir, namaste, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for giving such a good information knowledge regarding the strengthening of lungs, pranayama, walking, and spiritual and other things. Just I want to ask one query, sir, regarding since for the first wave in the social media, there are some medical professionals and other people are giving the suggestion regarding the steam inhalation. It will be very useful to strengthen the lungs and those things. Since last year it's going on, but last 20 days and 1 month, the same thing they are mentioning the adverse effect with this steam inhalation. So please rectify that doubt, sir. And one more thing also, please tell something to strengthen the lungs. What is a preferable diet in diet factor? That's my query, sir. Thank you.
First one regarding the steam inhalation. In the Sanskrit or Telugu, there is a word, Ati Sarvatra Varjayet. Should not do anything over. So, if any person twice or thrice a day steam inhalation, nothing is going to harm. So, they are doing the cookers, they are doing the steam, they are doing the everything, they are doing all the useless things in the steam inhalation. Not required. Just simply steam inhalation, like what we are doing the previously, like some camphor, like paspu, haldi, those has to be used. They are using all the damn things into the water and they are steaming. So it is going to cause whatever thing. Other thing, sometimes they will use the same blanket used by other person. So these are wrong. These all are going to the increases the infection. So what I mean to say, if you are doing once or twice in a day steam inhalation for 20 days, 30 days, doesn't matter. Usually you will require only first 5-6 days of the illness only. Not, if you doesn't have any problem, why you want to do the steam inhalation? Not required. If you have the corona positivity, if you have the lung infection, if you have the lung congestion, yes, you do. Otherwise not required by everybody. Say, what I mean to say, don't do over anything. Regarding the lung power, there is no separate food. Whatever your mother says, whatever your father says, whatever your grandmother says, follow. That is dictated since 100 years. That is better. You follow. the whatever you are following in the last 20 years, you follow that food. There is no special diet for corona. Thank you.
So, I have a question about vaccination, sir. Due like so, minimum
I am not
time
able to.
time
I am
between.
not able to hear properly. Anybody will repeat?
Sorry.
Anybody
I'm
will
reading.
repeat?
I don't know, sir. Is it no, sir? Is it clear, sir? Can I talk now?
Yeah. Please, please.
My question is of the vaccine limitation for between first. So, like government decided to create 4 days for the dose vaccination. How will be the work of like the act of antibodies? Even though there is so much of gap between genders, so is it going to be the same age which was the last time, like 1 time period, or it is going to change anything?
Anyhow, I am not able to clear hear your problems, but vaccines I am going to give some explanation. There are different vaccines. They have the different manufacturing facilities, different immune properties, different production based on this one. In India, as of now, we are seeing only two. One is Covaxin, two is the Covishield. Covaxin is the dead virus vaccine. So, in one part of the virus, they are manufacturing the vaccines for that. For that, we need to have a gap of 4 weeks to 6 weeks. So, a second vaccine has to be taken minimum 6 weeks duration based on the disease. This is for Covaxin. And number 2 is the Covishield. Covishield is the live virus. So, live. It's a live virus. It's a friendly. It's going to the different platform manufacture. So it needs around now the studies are coming. So if you take the first Covishield vaccine, second Covishield vaccine has to be taken after 2 months. Is better. Maybe it may be changed later also. Maybe because of the lack of vaccines availability, they may increase the further also. But usually in the vaccines, how much gap is increased, your immunity will be better. But it's not too long, like a year. So up to 3 months, 4 months, you can wait for the Covishield. Up to 4 months also you can wait. Once you get the disease, like a normal course, how we are getting the COVID-19 positive like RT-PCR, you can wait up to the 4 months, 5 months. But now the government of India is giving instructions to us, wait up to 6 months to get the vaccine.
Okay, sir. That was very.
Excuse me, sir. Can you hear me?
It was detailed answer, sir. So, yeah. So we are hearing some rumors saying that the first dose vaccine for antibodies will not work if we wait for 84 days or more or something. So yeah, you have cleared my doubts, sir.
Curiosity here are able to hear. I am not clear. What is doubt?
Yes, sir. Is it audible now, sir?
Yes.
It is very clear, detailed explanation. So there is a rumor going on saying that the first dose vaccination antibodies will not work if we wait for 84 days or something like that. So yeah, you have cleared my answer. That was what I was saying.
Okay.
Sir, can I ask a question, please? Am I audible to you clearly, sir?
Yes.
Sir, you say, sir, COVID situation will continue for more than a year or so.
Yes.
As total vaccination will not be completed within 1 year.
100%.
So, sir, how long will be the effect of this vaccination so that we will not be affected by COVID again within a year or so? Any study made on this?
No. COVID is new to everybody, sir. It's new to us and new to you also.
No, if we get vaccinated today, how long will be the effect of the antibody so that it can protect us for a year or more than that period?
Yeah. I will clear it out. If you get the vaccine, first dose, you will be protected by 30% after 2 weeks. If you get the second dose, 60 to 80%, you will get the protection of the present virus. If the virus is changed differently, this vaccine is not going to work properly. So again, your question come back to the zero. Your 80% come back to the zero. And another thing, there is no 100% protection. If I get the virus infection now with the disease, even I may get the again corona infection with the another new virus also after a month. So there is no 100% protection, and also no vaccine is going to give the 100% protection, and also no virus is not going to kill 100% also. So there is a plus minus between the person, viruses and vaccine. There is a triangle fighting is always going on. So simply I can say to decrease the confusion in the community or in this group, vaccination is better. Why? Because it is going to decrease the severe disease. Chances of going to the ICU, chances of going to the ventilator is less. The persons are received the vaccination. This is happened and studied in all over the world, in the Canada, America, UK, Germany, in the Israel. So based on that only, vaccines is going to protect you from the severest form of the disease. Means if you are taking the 2 vaccines, you are not protected. There is a 10% chance. So always you have the 10% chance to get the disease by another virus or the same virus also. So I think your doubt is clear.
So my question was, if the COVID situation continues for more than a year period, and we have taken say 2 doses of the vaccine, how long will be our body be protected?
Yeah, up to 80% will be protected.
How long?
Another 1 to 1.5 year, but may be extended also, because now we are vaccinated with the polio. Now we are not getting the polio because our antibodies will work. Only studies only will tell. Maybe after 2 years, 3 years.
Okay.
Based on the previous studies, if you are 2 months, 2 doses are vaccinated, based on the science, I can assure you that you are protected 80%. Up to 80% you are protected with the 2 vaccines of the 2 viruses, 2 doses of the vaccine. If they get the disease, up to 80 to 90% is protected for another 1 year. But maybe changes is the time also. Your immunity gets low or the disease is powerful, you will get the infection.
It will not affect any natural immunity of the body also, sir?
No, that is different. If you have the immunity, you will recover fast. If you doesn't have immunity, you recover down fast. You go down fast. It matters everything in the innate immunity.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for clarifying doubts of the participants. And our L. Sudarshan Reddy sir is unable to attend. Right now he is in ICU ward. So just now he can stage.
Now in Hyderabad there is a problem of the black fungus.
Yes, sir.
And before conclusion, I am informing about the black fungus. No need to worry. This is only developed for the persons who use vigorously steroids, using so much of steroids, and they have the diabetes. They are on the oxygen for more than 15 days. They are on the ventilator. They are on the ICU. So if you have any black mark on the nose, don't be frightened that you are having the black fungus. Black fungus, that is called the mucormycosis, will have very less problem, and if it comes, it's a very tough to treat, I can say, but it's not going to come to everybody. So maybe 1 lakh, 1 in 1 lakh only will get the infection. The 1 lakh corona patients, only 1 to 2% only will get the black fungus infection because of the improper usage of the steroids, because of the lack of immunity and the uncontrolled blood sugars. So every diabetic patient will not be worried about the black fungus, and every person who used for the oxygen 10 days, they will not be worried about the black fungus. So now the Sudarshan Reddy Garu, the ENT professor, is busy because now the Hyderabad, his ENT center is a nodal center for the black fungus. Yeah, that is the reason he may be busy. He is not able to attend the meeting.
Sir, report says more than 4,000 people in India have been detected with black fungus. Is it true?
Yeah, 130 crores people, 4,000 is very less, sir.
No, sir. Of the people who have been affected by COVID seriously, if it is, you say, 1 person in 1 lakh, then how does it is 4,000 now, sir?
Maybe 4,000. I don't think so. In the whole Telangana only they have the 30 cases.
Sir, what about the white fungus then, sir?
That is a candida. Everyone is having the black white fungus. All the female diabetic patients all have the white fungus.
Even the persons who are not affected by COVID also, there is a chance of black fungus and white fungus to them also, sir?
Black fungus, white fungus, recently only the words came. That is called the candida is the black fungus. Mucormycosis is the disease there since more than 100 years with us.
Yes.
Before us only it is there. So
Yes.
because of the, what I want to say, excessive use of the steroids, excessive use of the oxygen, excessive use of the all the medication, only these came.
If black fungus was there earlier also, sir, the persons who were not suffering from COVID, how could they affect them also?
Sorry?
The persons who were not suffering from COVID-19, if it was there for more than 100 years, how could they suffer from black fungus, sir? Did they use high steroid?
Yes. Diabetes, steroids, all are both are causes the increase the development of the black fungus, uncontrolled diabetes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Uncontrolled use of the steroids, both are the sisters to the black fungus.
Is there any relationship with sanitary conditions in the environment, sir?
No.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Reddy, some of the participants are also questioning, writing in the chat box. Can we request,
Please,
Professor, can we request Dr. Ram sir to kindly answer the questions if he has got the time with us a little bit more?
No. Now I have some video consultations. I will discuss later.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable time, sir, for spending here. And now I would like to invite Dr. Premananda Mishra, sir, the faculty member NIEPVD, Science at Bhubaneswar, for some of the program and to propose vote of thanks. He has participated and presented number of papers in the national international conference also. He is also author of the few books in special education. I welcome you, sir. Dr. Premananda Mishra, sir, from Bhubaneswar.
Thank you, Reddy ji, for giving me the opportunity again in the webinar organized by TCVS Telangana in collaboration with NIEPVD NBE. I sincerely thank the eminent resource person today, a famous pulmonologist, Dr. Koteswar Rao sir. Even I heard also many questions to be clarified from him. So I was cleared. I am thankful to him. As our director sir in his inaugural address said, post-COVID management is a very interesting and very awaited situation-like thing in NIVS Dehradun also. Really, it is in the mind of all the participants. It is in the mind of all the participants. What next? And Dr. Rao sir also clarified the COVID situation will continue for more than 1.5 year, of a year. So post-COVID, the situation will be changing. As he said, the first strain, second strain, third strain, we anticipate third strain also. So post-COVID situation will be too very premature to say so from this period. Anyway, the persons who have been recovered from COVID also, he has already suggested some pranayam work and certain psychological support also. And the persons who are needy, he has also suggested us, he has also motivated us to help them. And the best thing he has suggested us to never to panic. This is not a situation to panic, rather to face the situation bravely, fight the situation out very, very bravely, so that we can come over. I sincerely thank our respected director sir NIPBD Dehradun, who has been instrumental. In fact, he has been patronizing such programs for creating awareness to these webinars at national level. Dr. Jasmeet Singh sir also has been motivating all the teacher training centers and the faculty members to take part in such webinars and organize such webinars for the awareness, because awareness is the mostly warranted situation now, mostly warranted thing now in the country, as the social media, print media, electronic media are spreading very confusing messages among the people, and most of the people who have either succumbed to COVID in hospital situation, they have succumbed to COVID only due to weak heart or lack of confidence, lack of mental strength. So that mental strength is required, and this kind of webinar is spreading awareness, positivity, motivating the people not to be panic, but to keep heart. So we are thankful to Dr. Jasmeet Singh sir also, and we are also thankful to the Sakhyam Telangana team. What an exciting music, what an exciting song, what an exciting effort, initiation taken by Sakhyam Telangana to deal with the disabled people at this critical period. So I sincerely thank Sri Nandanam Karunakar sir, who has been graceful to attend more than 3-4 webinars in our forum. So I also sincerely thank him, and he is also always eager to come with us in all the webinars. I welcome sir, Karunakar sir, to be always with us. Sakhyam is there always with us. I am also a member to it. I am also an activist in Sakhyam. So I expect Sakhyam at national level will be also playing its major role in this situation, and has also been playing. I also sincerely thank Aruna Madam, the coordinator of TCTVS Telangana, who has a tacit support to organize such programs at TCTVH in collaboration with the National Level Institute NIEPVD Dehradun. I also thank Sri K. Srinivas Reddy ji, who has taken all the pain he has taken to organize this kind of webinar in a series of programs. He has taken the initiation, and I thank him. His team also, technical team also, his daughter Hasina, Srinath, Nani, who have associated themselves with Srinivas Reddy ji for organizing this program. I also thank Ramakrishna ji, who has also supported Reddy ji to organize this program. I also sincerely thank all the participants without whom our programs can never be made successful. I also thank Janaki Raman ji, who has been participating with all interest, with all eagerness, with all zeal in all the webinars organized by TCTV Telangana or State Institute of Special Education and Research here in Bhubaneswar. So I thank him. I thank all the participants, all the faculty members of NIEPVD. I thank all the teacher trainees who have participated also from Telangana, from Odisha. They are really our strength. So I thank all participants again, all resource persons, all organizers, the whole team of NIEPVD Dehradun, and the technical supporting hands of Srinivas Reddy ji. Thank you all. Thank you, Reddy ji, for giving me the opportunity also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And now I hand over to Srinath Reddy, in charge Innovation Section, LV Prasad Hospital, for further announcement.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for handing over to me. I once again thank each and every participant and the speaker for giving such wonderful speech, and all the supporting Director NIEPVD and Dr. Jasmine Singh ji, our Saksham team, and also Dr. Premananda Mishra ji. So all the supporting team for gathering here and making it a wonderful and successful webinar. And also, like this is the time we heard from pulmonologists, so it was really helpful for all the participants about knowing all infections which are related to lungs, and in this situation, and like what we really need is which is like more of dangerous with the lungs. And also this is I feel like this is a wonderful session that we all have, and then gathered really good information, and the question and answer session was also really good. So I really thank each and every participant and all the mentors and everyone. So I request all the participants once again to stand up for the national anthem. So we'll be playing national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, one and all. Thank you.